I'm going to hand it over to Mr. Marshaun Brooks to share a little bit about what that STEM approach has been with NextWave and Washtenaw ISD.
Hey, thanks a lot, Hope. I really appreciate that introduction. So, first of all, I'll give you a precursor and a little bit of understanding of what we're doing here in Washtenaw County. We'll create an aviation-focused pathway from pre-K through ninth grade with an aviation approved, state-approved pathway for our 11th and 12th grade. So I'll give you a little overview of how that looks for us here in Washtenaw County. So we found that NextWave STEM, it weaves drone technology into multiple subjects, allowing schools to introduce aviation concepts in a lot of different ways, whether that be science and engineering introduction and integration, excuse me. And we'll talk about a few things of how that looks. Drones, they model next-gen standards, aligned learning. We learn about aerodynamics, force and flight, and energy transfer. Also, NextWave STEM's focused on energy design, cycling, using drones and assembling calibrations and testing the drones as well, which gives the kids a lot of hands-on experience. Now, also with this, it allows students to apply scientific inquiries as they build, modify, and test the drone systems. One thing about this that really resonated with me as a former classroom computer science teacher is that NextWave does a phenomenal job of scaffolding up from kindergarten all the way up to their ninth grade, which lessons tie into each other. Now, how do we use drones with our technology and coding and robotics? Well, students explore how the drone operates. They code autonomous flights and paths. They understand sensors and GPS and onboard system, as Hope alluded to earlier. And then they troubleshoot that and go back and optimize that to make that performance even better. Now, as we continue on with this aligns with the computer science standards and preparing students for robotics and mechatronics pathways. Also, NextWave STEM does a phenomenal job at mathematics and data literacy. Teachers can integrate drones into mathematic instructions by using flight trajectory calculations, distance rates and angle measurements, mapping, and geodata to ensure for analyzing the real world problem sets. Now, what does this do? Well, that helps the students to see mathematics as applied hands-on tools. Now, I'll get into our nitty-gritty of this. Now, we're really CTE focused here in Washtenaw County, and NextWave STEM does a phenomenal job of introducing students to the unmanned UAS flight Part 107D, connecting to learning career tracks in engineering, aerospace, public safety, construction, and environmental services, because it allows for teachers to be able to take their drones up and test air quality, test different airspeeds and wind drifts within the county before they go on to different types of curriculums. Now, one thing too that NextWave does a phenomenal job is across cross-discipline project-based learning, right? STEM, as you know, has a big focus on saving people, responding to disasters, that with their aviation for disaster response simulations, environmental monitoring using aerial photographs of looking for lost people, looking for lost objects out in the wood using heat sensor on top of their drones and different things of that nature. Mapping schools or community spaces, humanitarian missions, getting blood into remote places up in the UP or getting gas into remote places up in the peninsula of Michigan. It teaches kids all of those real world experiences that takes. Now, the last thing I'll leave with is the support, the equity and access. NextWave STEM is committed to expanding opportunities for economically disadvantaged students, Black and Hispanic learners, district limited engineering or CTE pathways, and drone and aviation education provides an exciting, accessible entry point into high wage and high demand careers. And that's how we're using NextWave STEM here in Washtenaw County. And we're also looking at other ways to use NextWave STEM as well. But this relationship has been phenomenal. We have teachers in Bishop Elementary right now using the MBOTs. We're rolling it out over at Brick Elementary here soon, where second graders will be using drones to test them out. The cross content collaboration. And if it's anybody that's in Washtenaw County, you can reach out to me or my boss Ryan Rowe, and we'll be able to set you up and put you in the right direction as far as Next Wave STEM, if that's something you want to do. Thanks a lot, Hope.
Thank you so much, Marshaun. So it's great to hear, as ever, all the different ways that Washtenaw is making the most of NextWave and how we've been able to partner, especially with respect to our drones programming.